Whisper of Gravenmoor, an original horror story. There are places that don't appear on any map, small, forgotten villages shrouded in mist where time seems to have stood still and where certain stories should never be told. This is one of them, a story that began 20 years ago and that still echoes in the whispers of the wind. It was a cold September night. Lucas, a 28-year-old photographer, was traveling alone through the countryside of Minas Gerais, looking for locations for a project about abandoned places. His car was cutting through the dense fog when the GPS started to malfunction. The screen flickered, and a name appeared that he had never seen before. Gravenmoor. A dirt road opened up to the left, surrounded by twisted trees. Against his better judgment, he turned onto it. The fog seemed alive, moving slowly as if breathing, and after a few minutes, he saw the first houses. Gravenmoor seemed frozen in time. Moss-covered wooden houses, broken windows, and a silence so dense that the sound of Lucas's own footsteps sounded too loud. But then he saw something. An old woman sitting on the porch of a house, staring into the void. A pale face, deep-set eyes, and a hoarse voice that broke the silence.
"You shouldn't be here, young man. The swamp wakes up when it smells something alive."
Lucas smiled, thinking it was a local superstition. But when he looked again, the old woman was no longer there. Seeking shelter, he found an old inn with a fallen sign. Gravenmoor Inn, since 1912. Inside, the air smelled of damp wood and rust. The receptionist was a tall, excessively thin man with grayish skin. He spoke softly, almost in a whisper. "Only one room available, sir. The one upstairs. The one with the window facing the swamp." Lucas paid, climbed the creaking stairs, and felt the air grow heavy. The mirror in the hallway reflected his image, but for a second he swore he saw two silhouettes, himself and something behind him. During the night, the wind carried a strange sound. It wasn't the rustling of leaves. It was a whisper coming from inside the walls. Come back, before the swamp sees you." Lucas got up and went to the window. The moon illuminated the swamp in the distance, a dense black surface with small bubbles rising as if something was moving beneath it. And then eyes opened in the middle of the mud. Dozens, perhaps hundreds of yellowish eyes blinking slowly in his direction. Suddenly, a loud knocking on the door. Bang, bang, bang. When Lucas opened it, the hallway was empty, but the floor was wet. Muddy footprints led to the end of the hallway and ended in front of the mirror. He approached it. The reflection showed the hallway, but in the reflection, the footprints continued leading up to the ceiling, and from there, something fell. A slender, pale body, eyeless, with its mouth sewn shut and its skin covered in rune-shaped markings. The creature whispered without opening its mouth, "The swamp wants another one." Lucas ran. He went down the stairs, crossed the reception area. The receptionist watched him motionless, eyes empty, as if he were part of the house. Outside, the village was different. All the houses now had red lights in the windows. Hooded figures walked towards the swamp, chanting an ancient song. "The flesh returns to the mud returns the voice." In the center, a stone altar covered in symbols, and something immense emerged from the swamp. A mass of flesh and mud, with overly long arms and human faces fused to the surface. Lucas desperately took pictures, but the camera malfunctioned. The monster rose, and one of its mouths murmured, "Now you too are part of Gravenmoor." The following morning, a truck driver found Lucas's car on the side of the road. Door open, headlights on, and the camera on the passenger seat. Inside, only one photo: the village of Gravenmoor. But in the windows, hundreds of faces were watching him, and among them, Lucas's face. No one ever found the body, and curiously, Gravenmoor never appeared on any map. But some travelers say that on certain foggy nights, the GPS shows the same name and a dirt road to the left. The swamp is still hungry.